Hello, welcome to my new channel. I'm fresh, never done before, and so don't be too picky. I don't have much of a edit video kind of skill, so you see that it's quite simple. The target of this channel is actually to share tips and tricks of an expat life. So you always learn from success and from failure too, and sometimes you need to share also how your perspective changed and based on your experiences. My name is Carlo. I'm 13 years abroad, live in 5 countries in Europe. I did move a lot. I do know the good and the bad about it. So let's try to give you some tips and tricks. I will try to keep all videos short, have different topics, and trying to give back something of what I learned. So my perspective of being expat changed. You generally move with the feeling that your next stop will be your new life. It's going to be in. The people that you are going to meet are going to be amazing, uh, but you need to think in a flexible manner. And sometimes it's tricky. You learn that with experience. And so let's start a few points. I will try to keep all these videos short. So first is the economic. When you move abroad, you'll be shocked. Something that was quite cheap in your place is going to be dear abroad. And do the economic is a survival skill. It's not anymore a choice, but it's tricky when you don't have the full picture of what will be your baseline in spending. And one of the things that I learned, especially when you move in a country, is to move your focus on the monthly into a weekly. But do it considering that each month will have 5 weeks. So it's true, some months of a calendar year are having obviously 5 weeks, but in this way you'll have two benefits. One, having a weekly control, you are always still in time to make a decision to make it right at the end of the month. And secondary, the emergency fund is generally static. Murphy's law wants that you didn't forecast something, and it's going to not stay so static like you expected and hope. So have a continuous stream that goes to feed that. It's a good way to survive. So my suggestion, obviously, is not be, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think to be smarter than anybody else. I just want to share what worked for me. So consider always 5 week, stash a bit of cash on the side, don't touch it, consider it like it's an emergency fund, don't consider it as a saving to be spent immediately after. Another things that I learned moving abroad is that change a bit of a perception of what you want. So the first target is to buy what you used to have. To get your life aligned with the baseline of your previous life. It's not always the good strategy. And so focus on what you need, not on what you used to have. You change country, you could have different needs. Uh, so stay focused on that. And if you go cheap and you start to buy cheap, you find that the volume of things that you buy are wrong, too much, and it will be a problem for you later to cope with that. So my suggestion is buy quality, not quantity. Keep control of what you are going to have around you to be moved tomorrow. And it doesn't mean to be frugal. Doesn't mean absolutely to to be picky on everything. It's not a bad way to live. It's just a survival skill because if tomorrow there is a reason to move, you are optimized. You are not. You didn't waste money uh, giving away other stuff that you know could need because it's too much as a volume. And believe me, that is mistake that everybody did. It's normal. It's just human. But when you move in a tough weather, for example, I didn't want to spend too much for a jacket. And I found myself buying 3 jackets. I was like an onion. At the pub, I needed a chair just for my jackets. It was just ridiculous. It was better for me to wait the sales, buy one good quality jacket that was listing. So this one is just a silly example, but it is to explain that it's really a change. Sometimes you don't want to spend because you think you can't, and you're right, obviously, but you need to be conscious on what you need. Focus on that. Um, if you're going for a big sort of big investment in terms of, for example, a car, you buy something, think differently. Don't focus on the baseline of what you used to drive. I found car that were so expensive and they were so cheap in my own country. So let's be honest, focus on how you keep the value of that item steady. And so get something that doesn't fluctuate too much as a value. That you are sure that if you have to sell it, it will still give you back something. Uh, you can go for a small car. Sometimes it's good for the insurance, extremely dear abroad. And or at least compared to where I used to live, it's expensive to run cars across Europe sometimes. And just go with a bit of smart thinking. Don't feel like you didn't achieve what you wanted just because you are not driving the car that you used to. It doesn't mean nothing. You have a long-term project because you are an expat. You are abroad with a long-term project, and your project is your career, your grow, your experience, your attitude need to be positive, not bind to object. And if you find yourself on having to buy furniture, sometimes it's a nightmare for an expat, especially if you move a lot. And you can find countries where you have to. Mm, it's a big problem because you feel it at a certain stage. You start to feel it as it is a problem. And trying to be smart. Don't go for the big wardrobe. Go for the small one and put the boxes on top. They are more manageable. You can handle it on your own. You don't have to spend to assemble it. Tomorrow you go to the second-hand market. You recycle it. It's okay. So don't see that as you are not having the life that you dream about. It's just an item that you need to use for what is needed. And as I told you, it's not frugal. You'll have tons of satisfaction, but a bit of smartness on keeping low the baseline of your spending. It's always a good survival kill. You'll have to invest money on your own career, on courses for languages and other stuff. So it's better to think that you are investing on yourself. And these items, even if are not what you want, are okay for in the process. I'm trying to keep all videos really short. This channel is really to share my own tips and tricks because my perception of being expat change along the way. Generally, you think that the first stop is your next chapter and permanent for your own life. You'll find yourself that probably due to the fact that you moved once, you could be keen to move another time too. So it's not that you are not building something stable. It's just how is also the job market right now, and so it depends on which field you are. I opened this channel to not discuss about my job because I have another one dedicated to that. I just wanted to share what I could because 13 years abroad are a lot. Changing country, you learn things, and sharing those on the sharing is caring base is good, I think. Um, I know I should have done a fancy video with a lot of slides and other. I try to keep it simple because it has to be simple also for me to do it. And I hope you'll appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel and you'll get notified when there are new topics. And please suggest what you want to discuss about. It would be nice to open a conversation. It want to be a channel to share experience also with our expat, and let's start from here. Okay, thanks for your time. Bye.